This is before Mr. T, if you remember him. Okay? I've worn earrings in my ears, and the first thing you say when the kids say to you in school, well, if it's on this side, you're gay. Really? You think? But other than that, I never let things get to me. I've actually always seen the world differently. When I was 18 years old, most of you may know my story. When I was 18 years old, I was killed in a car accident. But not really a car, as a truck. My dad gave it to me for my birthday. And being in Alberta, most back roads are all gravel. Poured gravel, never concrete. Mm-hmm. So anyways, I was 18 years old. I was driving into town. We lived on the farm, and I was driving 3 miles into town. Go get a pack of smokes. You know, it kills you to have an addiction. Doesn't it? Because I thought to myself, if I didn't go to town, I would still be here, Moscow land. But that actually never would have happened. Because we always look at the what ifs. And the thing is that when I came back after those few hours, they poured brand new gravel on that road. And when they poured that brand new gravel, I didn't pay no attention. You know, when you're 18 years old, I'm invincible. Okay? Behind that wheel. Gone. And what happens? And I'm sure some of you young guys know what it's like to drive a fast car. Right? And girls. Some are heavy-footed. You drive it very fast, and you lose control. Now, when I was young, we didn't have seat belts. They didn't exist. So we depend upon our strength with our arms on that steering wheel and hanging on good and tight. So if you're actually flipping out, your legs are up this way and your arms are over here like this. So you're looking like a fool behind the windshield. Right? But actually the thing is that when you're, it's true, isn't it? Your legs like this up the window, you're looking like this. So in the meantime, you're trying to hang on to that seat, and that seat is never fabric or leather. It is so slippery, your butt goes forward into the steering wheel. You can't even hang on. All you're hanging on to is your foot to the floor and bracing. But you know what? I didn't have to brace forward because my truck is going sideways. So you're hanging on to the steering wheel like this, and all I could see straight in front of me is green grass and trees. And next thing you know, white light. I didn't feel a thing. All I remember seeing after I opened my eyes on the ground outside the truck. How I got out, I'll never know. But when I woke up, that truck was on its wheels and it crashed into a telephone pole on the roof. And it caved in the roof. Like I said, I don't know how I got out. But when I got up, the first thing my thoughts were, my dad's going to kill me. Because my dad just gave that to me as a gift at my birthday gift when I turned 18. Now, the 64 Ford and the floor, those are darn good trucks. Those things last you years. They're tough. The new cars today, wouldn't have made it. It's like paper. So I was actually very fortunate that I'm actually here. What the interesting part of it is, I remember 2 years before that, 16 years old, I was told actually that I would actually have the opportunity and the choice of leaving this world. Because I remember seeing this beautiful white light standing in front of me and saying, it's time to leave, you don't have to stay. And I was upset. Now here's a 16-year-old in front, standing in the middle of the driveway. There's nobody around me, just standing in the driveway and going like, I don't want to go, I want to stay. And how would a person respond to that? How would you ever say that to God? I don't want to go. Or would you rather say, okay, let's go. I'm enough of this. Most kids don't want to leave. They want to stay because they want to see what's going to happen out in this world. Right? The older ones, like myself, or even old enough to say, well, you know, I've had enough of this, I can go anytime. And some will actually want to stay and outlive their life. And I've actually had a lot of clients say to me, when I look at their palms, read their life, and some will actually say to me, well, how long will I live till? Well, let me see. Well, the Spirit's telling me you need to be about 85 or 86 years of age, or even more. I don't want to live that old. Ooh, the wrinkles. Ooh, I can't stand it. 60 is fine, or 70 is fine, but 85, no. Why? Because they're not used to accepting what's in their past. They fear what they don't understand in the future. So no matter if it is age or if it's life itself. And the thing most important is you have to learn to overcome those fears. Learning to overcome that dread of saying, I'm still scared. I'm afraid what's going to happen next. How many of you have been watching horror movies throughout your years? Well, you've been watching too many movies. Yeah, because basically what you learn from a movie, from a theater, you begin to implant that into your thought thinking that you can't do it. Because if you didn't have a theater, a movie, and if you didn't have the boogeyman, you would have no idea what that person would look like in the spirit. All you would know and say, you look at them in that closet, because most kids in the closet, they look in the closet and say, there's somebody in there. Or there's somebody under my bed. How many of you guys out there, when you were young, or even now today, have fear of looking into your closet at times? I'm not talking about the dandruff in your underclothing. But how many of you actually have fear looking into your closet, think there's something in there? Okay, how many of you actually fear looking under your bed? I'm not talking about the golden thunder either. A lot of us actually have fear of what's under our bed when we're a child. Always thinking someone's going to pull us under. Or you're laying in your bed, you got a closet. Now, most of you had your own room. Some of you didn't. But if you did have a closet, especially at nighttime, and the first thing you see, a little glance of light, just a little glance off that moonlight at nighttime, and that glance, and it's shining off that door, you swear that door is opening up, and there's nobody in there. You know that, but you swear that door's going. It's a little sound. You're going, oh. What do? Sheets over your head. You're hiding. What are you afraid of? Your clothes?